This is Arunava Chaudhuri, and you are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is Monday, the 29th of June, 2026. It's another Indian football and more discussion here on my platform, Arunfoot. Thank you for joining in and welcome. And at the start, as always, like to say, please do like, please do share, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't, I did a story earlier today in regard to the Neville D'Souza football ground in Bandra, which the BMC wants to demolish and build an exhibition center on that very plot. If you haven't, do watch the video, do like the video, and of course also if you haven't, you know, and support the campaign that is being put together out there to try and save the ground. The Mumbai Football Association, formerly MDFA, yesterday held a protest. A lot of footballers, ex-footballers, fans came and supported it. So I thought, let me try and do my little bit, and therefore. Let's see what happens. But at the moment, it's not looking good for the ground. But again, that's one of those things that happen in India, right? Is it something that authorities want to sort out or not? And also a reminder for later tonight, Germany take on Paraguay. And I'll be doing a live watch along of that. I'll be doing certain portions also a little later on tonight here on this very channel. Brazil take on Japan. So also that could be something that we should be following here through this channel, and therefore I had to watch it, and therefore let's see what happens. Goodbye, coach. Oscar was about to sign contract if he knew which all players will be retained, but Israel didn't give the list, so he's going. Shom, I don't know if that's the real story or not. Again, that's something that's a narrative, that's been picked up. That there is no clarity on at East Bengal is true. That is very, very true, because East Bengal has their own sets of problems. Looks like Imami is gone. Though we still don't have a full 100% confirmation of that, but it looks like Imami no longer is the commercial partner of East Bengal FC, and therefore one has to wait and see. Therefore we'll have to wait and see what happens at East Bengal. Again, there's this speculation of Antonio Lopez Havas becoming the new East Bengal FC head coach. Let's wait and see if Havas, after coaching Mohun Bagan or ATK Mohun Bagan, Atletico de Kolkata as well in the past, coaching Inter Kashi in the last 2 years, if he would move on, and so therefore let's wait and see if that happens, and to see if Oscar stays in India or if he moves to another country, and let's see what happens. I'm going to Neville D'Souza ground for the protest. Don't worry, I have big connection. Shom, the protest was yesterday, so I don't know what connections and this and that. That's nice to have. Good that you have such connections. But the protest was yesterday, which was organized, and so therefore, again, as I said, the whole Neville D'Souza ground issue is just sums up where India sadly is today on this topic. I find it very sad and disappointing, to say the least, that we have to talk about this, and that the things are not sorted, and we'll wait and see what happens if the BMC changes its stance. That is it or not. We can only be serious about football if we qualify for the FIFA World Cup. But Arithro, what comes first? Qualifying for the World Cup or the path to qualifying for the World Cup? That would be my question to anyone and everyone. And so therefore, for me, it's a discussion, so therefore, for me, it's something that we need to do our work in regard to grassroots development, youth development, integration of origin players. All these things are interlinked in regard to a potential success in the future. And to me, that success is quite a bit off, so therefore, for me, it's something which is the reality of things for us, and we can't think about getting in there or not. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. FC Goa might consider Indian coach this time around. Yes, they are looking at things. FC Goa look to be cutting budgets, from what I understand. A lot of players are leaving them at the moment, it looks like. So let's see what kind of a squad FC Goa puts together next season. Any info on the new FC Goa Indian signing 8-year Spanish premium? They say no, Sujal. I've heard some names and rumors, but as I always say, if I have done something, you know, um, yeah, I'm putting out speculating names. There are few big people never goes who want to dispose of their own personal benefit. From someone has said it, and you are just copy pasting that statement. Can you prove that, or is it right? Is it wrong? Right? I don't know if it's true or not, but that has been said, stated by some people. Manchester United sign Abdul Rabe. Even if they do that, if it's confirmed, then after probably another interesting signing, which means that Northeast United is going to be in business. So looking to sign ex-Punjab FC manager. Shoam, let's see. He's one of the few that they have on the list. And Paris, but let's see if he's going to be there. Oscar will leave India by end of June. Shoam, isn't he in Spain already? I don't know if he's still in India. Volleyball is growing day by day, but football, no intention in growing. Even my counter question is volleyball growing day by day? Are the results of the sport uh, reflected in the attention that the sports get? I'm just asking a question out there, right? Because to me, again, look at the success of Indian hockey, and is there a rising interest in it? No, it's not, right? So therefore, I don't know. I want to see that because Prime Volleyball League has been doing a good job with people like Joy in charge, but has it really grown the sport exponentially? No. Yeah. So is it? When whole of India is talking about India's absent qualification, we pulled out of Asian Games football. What an irony. Mohit, we never pulled out of Asian Games and Asian Games football. And let me be clear to you, the Asian Games football tournament is as unimportant as anything else in the world. You know, you know. So for me, all this Asian Games wala hype, we had it a few years back. I said at the time it's utterly useless, and then the government got involved and then said, "Hey, you know what? You need to put in Sunil. You need to put in Gurpreet. You need to put in Sandesh." It didn't help. So therefore, these are some of the realities. Therefore, don't construct these things and make the Asian Games so important as the biggest. It's an under 23 tournament where a lot of nations are putting in under 21s or under 20s. And I don't know how we could have utilized it. So therefore, yeah, let's see. So I'm really sorry, but I got confused yesterday by the conversation. I just want to know the update on sports passport. There is no update on the sports passport. It's being reviewed by the government. Nothing more, nothing less. Anyone who's telling you, oh, this is this way, that way, whatever. No, watch my video of a few days ago. When did I post it? 12 days ago, video 499. How long will it take to implement Indian sports passport? I try and answer that question in that video at length because, yeah, people want to be making, so therefore, let's wait and see. You must have the Indian striker must play for 90 minutes. But what is he named a striker in the team list and then drifts wide? Sure, I have no clue what the AIFF is going to do because I will always say that I'm playing 4-3-3 and my wingers, my listed, my chances are my strikers as well. It makes no sense. Sorry, it makes no sense. Someone said Indonesia after winning World War tournament did not post anything raising questions. I don't know. As I said, I don't follow that much volleyball, and even less Asian volleyball, so I wouldn't be able to tell you guys. Last week, AFF talked about crash course, and this time, anti-Indian strikers should play. Yeah, that's what they talk about. Hi, Rusha, welcome back. Mandating Indian strikers for 90 minutes going to inflate the market of strikers even more. Richard posted a quality thread on this topic. Korea tried it. The goalkeepers, it didn't help them. So, this thing about forcing you to play someone or the other reduces competition. As you rightly say, it could inflate the market of strikers. And yeah. So therefore, it makes no sense. As I said, or have said multiple times, we have spoken about this in connection with the under 23s and other things. We've spoken about the ban of foreigners in I League 2 and downwards. What has it brought us? Has it changed anything? It has changed nothing so far. Volleyball is growing massively. It's mass sport. It's not a mass sport. Sure, as much as volleyball success is, it is not a mass sport. Sir, I want to ask that FIFA rule saying father, mother, grandfather, maternal grandfather born play can play for that country. Then how Qatar is using Brazilian player born, even they're not Qatari route. Damien, that is about origin players. They're using naturalized players. That's a different thing. That's a different route. That's like if we, for example, Hugo Bomus, for example, says, I want to play for India. That how can Hugo Bomus have Indian roots? He doesn't have any Indian roots. Indian volleyball team got banned a few years back. Then they got whole new people in the ecosystem, and now they're doing well. Sure, they've been banned again, and the international federation is having problems with them. So it's the success is great, but there is not everything is going well. But I think Iran had a bad luck in FIFA. They were drawn all three games, but they were qualified. No, that's not. Aman, it's not bad luck. Of course, if you don't beat New Zealand, that's bad. And the other games, they were to some extent lucky to get away with a draw. So therefore, no, you're not. There's a Thailand striker who will sign for Augsburg, Bundesliga, after he turns 18. Yes, Rohan, there is this young boy. Someone just floated the news of Hugo was interested joining the national team on YouTube. It was posted and it became a news. They'll verify what they're posting, no odds they're not. Hugo Bomos simply said, I'm leaving India. Thank you very much. And, and therefore for me, um, it's terrible. It's terrible to see what has happened. And has anything happened in a way that people verify, you know? So for me, yeah, someone puts it out, and again, yeah, we could discuss something here, put it out as a rumor, XYZ thing, and suddenly, I don't know, some successful footballer who's not played for the national team of some country is that good, and he's got Indian roots, and suddenly people go gaga about it. Yeah, that's a problem at the moment. You must have heard about Neville D'Souza fiasco now, the same ground where my club practice used to be organized. Honestly, I don't really care since you have to pay to play, not just publicly available. Rushabh, there are two things. There are open spaces and there are spaces which can be used for something as a sport of football and where you need to pay, right? But I've done a video on the Neville D'Souza ground because for Mumbai football, it is very, very important because the MFA uses it for its top tier division, elite division, first, second, third division, youth competitions, training sessions, other things happen over there. So therefore, yes, I have watched the video. And again, and if Mumbai loses it, you will have even less access to grounds in the city. Many are crying for Asian Games again. Yeah, Blue, those people will never learn. Those people will never learn. And again, we are part of the problem when it comes to our fan base crying out, let's see. I have few people who work in Bangladesh and Pakistan. When I talked about that 90-minute striker thing, they all busted laughing. Yeah, sure. We are the laughing stock even of South Asia or the world at the moment anyway. Looking at other side, the playing in Asian games could give players game time. Raj, yeah, but game time for what? Against whom? What's your the government will come in at the last second and say, you know what, you're putting in your three senior most players. They will come in again, and therefore it has no use. If you put in a Gurpreet, if you're going to put in Sandesh and maybe someone else, it makes no sense. What do you think? Kids should start playing full 90-minute 11 versus 11 matches. Good question. At 12, not at 12. I guess when you do the transition from grassroots to youth, and maybe at 13, 12 plus, yeah. We need Asian Games for a functional U23 team. We need qualifiers to have functional U70 and 20 team. We can't even maintain our youth teams throughout the year, and we want World Cup qualification fund. So, the second point that you make, how many countries have a functional youth national team throughout the year? Very few, right? So, therefore, that thought makes no sense. The problem is for functional under 23 team, most probably around the Asian Games, you should be using it for qualifiers and other things. Last time around, the qualifiers and the Asian Games clashed, right? So ask that question. Still deal not done, and they're proposing various rules regarding OCI. And it's like, yeah, blue lost priorities, right? Right. And again, you know, so for me, that's a bigger problem. Rather than, okay, what are we going to do with the league? What's going to happen? What do I need to do? Yeah, volleyball six is just a matter of time. Again, same people forget like they forgot hockey. Raj, thank you very much. Very, very right. When will FC Goa start signing players for FC match in August? I mean, they need to know if the ISL is happening. If the ISL is not happening properly, FC Goa is going to sign no one, right? All the signings you're hearing about or conversations are happening, but if the ISL doesn't get sorted at some stage, nothing will happen. Just like the central government, these towns have all these game-changing ideas, but really no idea or plan to implement that thing, whatever it's OCI strikers. Yeah, Rishabh, very, very, very sadly true. Seeing a lot of Thai players are going to J League 2 this year, so people saying our players complain Japan's lower division should shut up. So, sure, Southeast Asian players have access to those leagues. Are they going to play? That's going to be the different question. Almost just thank India, and someone just made a story out of it, and sadly, your one of friend posted it. Yeah. Raj, that is what I've told a lot of people, that be careful in what you're posting, when, where, how, because if you don't have the information, if you don't know what the right fact is, don't post it. That's why I'm very careful about things. I know a lot of rumors and this and that, everything. I don't talk about it. I was like to be next coach of East Bengal. See, how do you see it if you will not play against Mohammed? Yes, this time with the Archers will be interesting. Actually, sorry. Let me read it properly. Abbas like to be next coach of East Bengal. See, how do you see it? He did not play against Mohammed Sohail last season. This time with Archers will be interesting. Um, you know, um, again, if he takes up the role, interesting move after having Oscar to bring in Habas. And again, this last season he left because um, he wanted to save money for the club, and then of course the derby was a little later. So yeah, well, let's wait and see if Habas takes up the job or not. Here, Goa will have Indian coach. How are you seeing SC competition of this season by them East Bengal? Blue, no expectations. Um, I have no expectations from Indian clubs in these competitions. The first question to me is how are things going to get sorted, and uh, you know you know. So let's see. We want a name linked to FC Goa. Raj, we'll have some of those Indian coaches if they're going for Indian. Viviano will be linked. I guess Renly will be linked. Maybe some others will be linked to the job. So let's wait and see. One coach in WhatsApp group posted something about age fraud and I have to give defamation notice. Okay, I haven't heard about this. Geta is not going to help pro players. According to me, we should only focus on giving more game time to youths. Having a 40 game access is not going to have anyhow, but a long youth league might help. So both is needed. You need more games for the senior level players. You need games for the youth level players. The question is how we're going to get games. Uh, you know. Um. So to me, yeah, it's a difficult one to sort, and it's a question of money. It's a question of funding, of finance. A lot of question marks that are there which are not being answered. It's not ever, isn't it? He's Musafin versus Raj. Okay. Not like Mumbai literally doesn't have any ground for trading purpose, but again, you have these clashes with local committees and all politicians. Also, they do use MFA and rare occasion, even friendlies. Rishabh, again, any ground that is not available to the players, to the teams, is a problem for football in Mumbai, in my opinion. Right? So, therefore, for me, um, the Neville D'Souza football ground disappearing, how do you not know that other municipal public grounds might disappear? Yeah, and so therefore, let's see what happens with that ground in Bandra. It's a big hit for MS's pockets. It's a charge around 8K pass who can already guess clubs who got money only later in the rest of the year. But Rishabh, what's the problem if the MFA is trying to make some money to try and run football in Mumbai? I don't get that. What's the problem? You know? And meanwhile, other clubs train in local 5 or 7 side turfs. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? To run a club, um, you need money. And you can't just say, listen, I'm playing for the fun of it. That's the understanding. Even at lower level, you need money to run things. So for me, there is no harm in the MFA charging money for teams to play on that. If they, may, of course, maintain the facility, if they keep it clean, list and everything, but also utilize it for football in Mumbai. Where's the problem in it? And even muddy ground across Mumbai, but again, clashes with locals who play cricket or you have to get permission there. But that's the problem, right? Why F is behaving like they have thousands of offers and not completing the deal with clubs? It's a while after they even give any public statement regarding the thing they're doing internally. Bro, the question to me is the club offer also clear? Do we know that 14 clubs will play? Diamond Harbour, are they playing? Odisha FC, are they playing? Who else have we got in this conversation? Odisha FC, yeah, I said, and is Churchill Brothers trying to get in via the back door? What happens? A lot of questions are unanswered from the club sides as well. So therefore, it's a bit of a problem at the moment. I'm going to Evan for trials one day. I will make sure India qualifies for the next and let it all work out. Yeah, but sure, no Indian kid, uh, you know, um, you know, um, no Indian kid is training or trialing or playing for an English club who has an Indian passport. Hey, Shuman, I'm doing good. Good to see you. I live in Mumbai. I don't understand how to get trials and how we play for Indian clubs. Sure, you know, um, you should reach out to the clubs. All the information is available today online. If you tell me that you live in Mumbai and you don't understand how to get trials, then Google it. Sorry. This is what I would expect from anyone. And just saying, hey, listen, I don't know this, I don't know that. Can I get your help? Listen, most of the people around the world start off by figuring it out themselves or their parents figure it out for them, friends, contacts, whatever. But in today's world, it is relatively easy. Ask Google, ask ChatGPT, ask some other AI, and they'll help you. If each club can select at least 7 players and send to European top 2, 3, will happen in football? No. Because you can't send in a 17 kid to Europe. You have to be 18 plus, right? So therefore, um, all these ideas are great. That's why also when people say, oh, you know what, I want to send under 13, under 15s to Europe. No, it won't work. They can't play. Exactly, Dada. They charge so much and don't care to maintain it. If you are in the ground, you will be disgusted. Yeah, but that's part of the problem. Bishop, we don't respect our grounds, our turfs. We don't respect the ground that we should be playing on, right? That's part of our problem. And that's the issue uh, that we face, and yeah, we need to figure out how we're going to get there. Um, that's the challenge. So therefore, it's not easy to find a solution to all these problems. Once wanting Santi players, interesting. We should get Lajong versus Diamond Harbour match. Why? Sure. Diamond Harbour won the league. They can get promoted. Normally, the team who gets relegated, normally, that would be the first option to stay in the league. Let's wait and see. Modern Sporting fight the case. I've seen some of these kids doing sliding tackles and the skin just rips off. It's that worse. Yeah. The problem of grounds. My age is 23. Can I play football? I was joking, man. I never kicked football. Yeah, sure. Maybe you still could. Who knows? By the way, how will Mount comments on players? How many have they currently? Uh, 35, 37 most probably. Blue, if not even more. Messiah Trans Mumbai were cancelled due to mismanagement, so he's doing it again next week. Yeah, let him do. Messiah thought in the ISIS postponed or not? No decision about it, Surojit. People in India don't know how to play football. They just want to make unnecessary physical challenge and injure the opposition player. I don't think so. And Rishabh answers Subhajit, पहले leak तो होने दो. Yeah, Rishabh, very, very, very important point. Uh, that's the thing, no? The league needs to get sorted first, and then we can have all the other conversations about Indian football, this, that, everything. If you don't sort the league, if you don't sort the playing in the league, the rest of the conversations are not worth it. So that's our biggest problem at the moment that I see, that we are not sorting those problems first. Northeast United is signing a huge bunch of current under 17 national team squad. What are they trying to do here? So maybe they're trying to work with young players, try to give them an opportunity to grow. Um, if will it work, will it not work? That's always a question. And that will be very interesting to see what happens. But to me, um, with uh, so therefore it's going to be very interesting, um, to see what happens. And yeah, it's one of those where I say, if you do it right, a lot can be achieved. But yeah, let's wait and see. Northeast United will is trying to build, and let's see. Mandar has a lot of ideas. Let's see how is Bengal pay money to players. I have no idea. That's a question for East Bengal Football Club to sort. It's not my cup of tea, and again, that's why I'm not too bothered about it. And yeah, and therefore for me, to me, it's a non. It's one of those problems where East Bengal finds itself in once again. So a video of Mr. saying something about Virat Kohli sparking debate. Yeah, and let him. One was it no need a TV also, or they want backup coach. To me, is if you see the signings, I don't have an idea of what the logic of the signings are at Moonbag and Supergiant. If you ask me as a game, to me, I have no idea how they, why, who they're signing, why they're signing, and let's see. Wonder are they still want to implement FFB and other BS, or was it just restriction, just like what I've been pulling off over the last few years? Ushup, I don't know. FFB has not been welcomed too much. Interestingly, I thought that some people will find it great, and so therefore, yeah, to me, there's no clarity on that matter. Let's see. FFB is the minister of is the minister of sports going to accept it? Want it? Does he want it? Does he not want it? I don't know at the moment. Pre-season deal was cancelled by former CM. No, it was not cancelled by the former CM. It was cancelled by Srinidhi themselves. Tara, do you know why the ISL deal hasn't been done yet? Because the clubs and the AIFF have not come to a conclusion on that matter, right? The clubs have made a proposal. I'm not even, from what I understand, also some of the clubs are not fully clear on that matter, on that deal. Even though people are telling me, I've heard now from two different people working at clubs that they are sort of little concerned about this whole thing and saying, okay, it puts stress on us and this and that. Because I've explained to that person saying, listen, even if you do the deal, you're spending, let's say that, uh, 1 crore plus whatever the AFF wants from you, right? What's going to happen for the rest? Are you spending 3 to 5 crores minimum, uh, you know, um, on top of that without getting money out of the central pool because there is no central pool? And yeah, let's see. Random YouTubers are saying OCS to players, domestic players, and ourselves. It's just a keyword for now. Yeah, so that's the sad part that the work is not being done. And there's a lot of work to be done on that topic of OCI players. If it's done right, I think a lot can happen. But at the moment, it is more of a circus, sadly. I don't understand. He's saying that India will reach World Cup at 2024. We can't even beat Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and we're dreaming about World Cup. Yeah, but that's what catches, that's that thumbnail with saying, 2024, um, which doesn't even say India's going to play, but India's going to win the World Cup, which is, I can't, I mean, sometimes you can't say anything on that. Pinari, like young players, and promotes them so good. These players are going there instead of certain clubs. Blue, maybe yes, but again, they have to prove themselves. No? Even also Benali, yes, he does give young players a chance, but you have to be better than the others. I've noticed one thing: people watching football on Instagram seeing football in total different way. Yeah, so very true. Totally agree with you on that. That there's a perception that has been created on Insta, which is totally unrealistic to the realities of football. Now, that's so tiring to explain, folks, that Lord Scooter is just a talker and doing all for PR. Yes. Yeah, that's, yeah, yeah, that's it. There is OCI player called Matthews. He's very good at kind. Sean, we'll see that a lot of OCI players will have to wait and see what happens. Right, more than 31 minutes. Quick reminder, if you haven't, to like, to share, to subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com. Did something on Insta today about the focus on Indian football and what effect does it have on us and on Indian football. So do watch that as well. And thank you as always for your support. Watch Ranila's podcast on a big podcast. Hearing it, I felt okay about football. You know what he said. Now, when I listen to podcast about topic that I'm unaware of, who knows if what I'm hearing is not was genuine knowledge? So, that's an interesting point, right? With so much of wrong information passed on, it's a big problem. Just one sec. Sorry. So therefore, yeah, it's a very valid point that you might hear things in podcasts which are not true. I'm talking about East Bengal and Sri deal, which former CM said to East Bengal governors not to sign. Um, I don't know what you're referring to, Raj, but as I remember, she was involved in getting Sri Cement and keeping Sri Cement also for a second season, and Sri Cement then walked off. So I just happened to check like the claims with Prescott. I got to know recently from, for example, he was scouted and trained at Chandigarh Football Academy. Yeah, very true. A shameless guy, as I said to say, I made the first in World Cup score. Yeah, but see, Rishabh, that is what people who worked in football over the last 10, 12 years will know. Factually is wrong. And there are a lot of other players. There was a Pakistani player who had to take NOC from India as a grandparents were from India. Okay, true. I'm hearing this. I don't know about that. Have you seen the signing on Super Giant though? Like finally they are signing non-strikers. Blue, I again, you don't have a coach, you don't know what he wants to play, and then you're signing players. Let's wait and see. Vixen Singh is developed by whom? By the Chandigarh Football Academy. Spent, I think, a few weeks, maybe months at Minerva and then moved on. So does that mean this guy poaches away kids from other academies where they were developed to that point, and when they do something little good, he takes away credit? Yes, Rishabh amongst others. सर हम लोग प्रीमियर लीग में नहीं खेल सकते क्योंकि उसके लिए रैंकिंग होना चाहिए 60 to 70 के बीच रिलायंस टाटा के पास इतना पैसा है कि सेम की कॉपी करके सेकंड लार्ज हब बनाना सकते हैं नो और वाला जो रैंकिंग का मामला है वो तो मिनर्वा यू नो वो तो वो तो हम लोग का मुश्किल है जो रैंकिंग का बात होता है ना इंडिया का रैंकिंग इतना टॉप लेवल लेना पड़ता है हम रेगुलर एशिया कप में क्वार्टर फाइनल खेलना पड़ेगा टू गेट इनटू दैट 70 प्लस रैंकिंग बाइचुंग 1999 में एक एक्सेप्शन दिए थे कीथ वास एट द टाइम लेबर का एक एमपी फ्रॉम लेस्टर हेल्प किए थे भुटिया को बड़ी का 3 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिला 3 साल का वर्क परमिट भी मिला सुनील 2009 में नहीं मिला क्यूपीआर साइन करना चाहते थे लेकिन नहीं मिला सो दैट वाज द रियलिटीज राइट सो एक्सेप्शनल एक्सेप्शंस होता है ये रूल से लेकिन हम लोगों का स्टैंडर्ड जो है इवन इफ टाटास एंड And Tata has been spending money, huh? Last 40 साल से टाटा फुटबॉल अकेडमी चल रहा है. रिलायंस भी लास्ट 15 साल प्लस 16 साल हो गया सिंस दे फर्स्ट स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग इन फुटबॉल. लेकिन पैसा का इन्वेस्टमेंट का बात नहीं है, इट्स अबाउट क्वालिटी. हम लैक ऑफ क्वालिटी हम लोगों का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. As per reports, Mohammad Surjan asked not to let them sign 2 or 3 OCIs and not mandatory who will be in Indian slot, not foreign. Blue, they're trying to figure out a way of. And this is interesting that Mohammad Subhajan themselves have gone to the AIFF, not via the ISL clubs. That's my first question. That's my red flag. I said, why are you as Mohammad Subhajan reaching out to the AIFF directly? Why are you not talking to the others? You were suggesting a rule change without speaking with the rest? Or is this coordinated, but we don't know that it's coordinated? A lot of questions that I have suddenly cropping up in my face. And it's like, okay, is this right? So that's the difficulty, in my opinion, looking at things. So for me, I think a lot of different people will have different ways of wanting what is in their best interest. Look for Minerva, Chandigarh Football Academy. Yeah. Problem with Ranveer Das is good motivational speaker. Most of the things he talks about in football is wrong. Sadly, sure, I have to agree to this. Inali's Indian series isn't that impressive. He talks a lot, but not doing very underwhelming. I say surprisingly, Khalid did better than Benali for Northeast United. Yeah, I don't want to say that Khalid did better than Benali, but Benali is working. Yeah. फिर हमारा रैंकिंग अच्छा होगा तो वैसे ही हम तो टॉप 50 में चला जाएंगे. फिर उसके बाद तो हमारे यहाँ हब होगा तो वो भी बंद में नहीं चाहिए. How are we getting into top 50? How top 50 में हम कैसे जाएंगे? वो तो मेरा पहला सवाल है. टॉप 50 कैसे जाएंगे हम लोग? टॉप 50 इज आई मीन 150 होगा लेकिन 50 तो नहीं होगा भाई, राइट? बिकॉज हम लोगों का रैंकिंग जो 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 प्रॉब्लम है, एंड आई एम लुकिंग एट मेंस रैंकिंग. एक बार फिल्टर करते हो एशिया का, एएफसी का, राइट? टॉप 50 में 4 देश हैं एशिया से. जापान इज 17th, ईरान 21st, ऑस्ट्रेलिया 28th, साउथ कोरिया 32nd. वो 4 देश. एंड नेक्स्ट सऊदी एंड कतार, उज्बेकिस्तान 58, 59, 60. हाँ, तो हम टॉप 50 में बात करने के बारे में तो हम तो टॉप 4, टॉप 5 एशिया में होना चाहिए. हम तो हम लोग कैसे उधर पहुंचेंगे इफ वी आर नॉट इवन प्लेइंग एशियन कप? हम लोग, द लाइक्लीहुड ऑफ अस रीचिंग 150 इज हायर देन रीचिंग 50 in the next few months or years, actually. Sorry. You know, worst part, not so-called football heroes haven't said about more football on social media, but when their so-called club lost in La Liga Premier League, they cry like they have become orphan. Yeah, come on. Well, that's the reality, no? Even for me, I did a video today on that, right? I did a video on level to suicide because I thought, listen, I've got a connection to the city of Mumbai and to Mumbai football via Mumbai City FC. But I'm looking at the back end at the moment, 64 people have watched that video. So, yeah. So therefore, what am I going to say? That's not, it's not important enough, people feel. The main issue is most of the reels people watch of Ranjit Bhagat have zero knowledge about Indian football. They just feel because he talks so loudly, so we feel he's right. Yeah, maybe. Is the ranking there even true? Hannibal, it's not a question of it's true or not. There is a ranking system, which is right or wrong. That's a different conversation. And to me, it's wrong. But I would be able to give you an answer of what and how could be better. But that's the reality. Was Bhutia really AFL League One player level? Yes, Hannibal. I think if Baichung stayed injury free and he had a lot of injuries, to be very honest, especially in year 2 and year 3, he, I think, spent most of the time not playing at all. So from that perspective, I think, League One, Baichung could have, I think even Championship, he could have most probably played. Baichung was that cut above the rest. वो तो second tier है Baichung का. Arup, the problem is that it's the same. तुम्हारा सिस्टम एक ही है ना, यू नो. सो तुम्हारा भूटिया का जो बरी में एक्सेप्शन लेने था, वो भी प्रीमियर लीग में सेम. द रूल्स आर द सेम. टॉप 4 डिवीजन में यूके में तुम्हारा सर्टेन रैंकिंग चाहिए तुम्हारा देश का, देन यू आर, और देयर आर एक्सेप्शंस. और भूटिया एक एक्सेप्शन किया, एज आई सेड. लोकल लेस्टर एमपी कीथ वास, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फ्लुएंशियल फिगर. उसके लिए वो मिला था 2009. सुनील क्यूपीआर चैंपियनशिप टीम एट द टाइम, नहीं मिला. पीरियड. Reality. Hey Akash, can we say this World Cup was downfall of Asian football? I don't know if it's a downfall of Asian football or if it's a downfall of countries. South Korea has exposed that they have problems. Iran, we've spoken about it when Iran's under 17 couldn't beat India to make it to the AFC under 17 Asian Cup, that Iran football most likely is on a downward spiral. Um, Uzbekistan's Cannavaro appointment has backfired. Jordan, Iraq, yeah, in glimpses, but we're not good enough for this tournament. Qatar, for some reason, can't play at world stage. Not good enough. Saudis have their moments as well, but also not there. So, yeah, Japan and Australia were sort of the exception. So, Japan is one of the best teams. And the match starts in a couple of minutes. So, we will surely follow it as well. Quickly going through Zion Suzuki, Ito, Taniguchi, Tomayasu, Nakamura, Kamada, Sano. Ritsu Doan is captain, Ito up front, Ayase and Ezen. So let's see what Japan can do. But to me, it's part of the problem. That it's a national problem. It's not an Asian problem, I would say. But Asian football needs to wake up. Look at Africa. Africa, 9 of the 10 teams have qualified. That's a massive, massive step. Unpopular opinion. Dada is not even a decent song. It's just there was so much. It stood out. Ah, I don't know if it's not a decent song or not. Yes, you're right that there's much more that has been put out, but I found it okay. Um, the rest of it is actually not that good. Probably confirm New York is season reaching top 50 in the world. Yeah, potentially for us, yes. If we want to reach top 50 in FIFA rankings, we have to do well, not only for a 2 year, 3 year period, most probably you have to do well for a decade to 15 years, right? So that's the reality of things that there is, as the Brazilians are getting ready for kickoff. So that's the reality. Steven with Igor's too much ranking में पावर नहीं, वो तो अरे स्टीवन तो किए थे इगोर, क्या किया नहीं किया वो तो पूछना चाहिए. But yeah, did talk to Aaron Pereira if yes, was he interested in representing India? Is he good enough to get called up from Norwegian national team? Uh, did I meet Adrian? I met his father Thomas at the Norwegian Cup final 2019. Did I meet Adrian? Good question. Yes, I did. I think. Wait 1 second. Before I tell you something wrong, let me just remember. Um, uh, 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 uh. Yes, I did meet him. He was part of the team. Yes, I did meet him. I'm just trying to figure out getting my dates right. I did meet him. We didn't speak about India at the time, to be very honest. PR Scooter is actually really, really good. Chobe can also look like an India with that kind of PR. Never saw Bhutia live, but if anyone sees his highlights today on YouTube, even from it, anyone will be impressed. Yes. Sujo, Baichung had this speciality, that special quality, um, which none of our players these days have. So as sad as it is, but that's the reality for me. Sir, आप जो भी कहो वसीम हसन होता तो इस टाइम पर इंडियन फुटबॉल रैंकिंग तो 7 हो ही जाता आई एम श्योर. आरोप स्टीवन मेरा दोस्त है. स्टीवन का पहला इंडिया अपॉर्चुनिटी, I was involved in enabling it. Oh, Japan mistake in the build up, and that ball goes wide. Guimaraes. Guimaraes. So I had stopped 70 नहीं होता. हम लोगों का quality नहीं है, to be honest. Could we be between 100, 120? Most probably, yes. Bhutian Ali was exceptional. He also proved himself in Malaysia. He could have played in MLS or USL. Easily, I don't know easily, but yes, he most probably could have played in those leagues in those days. How did drama performance? I think they can do better. Yeah, I think all Asian teams could have done better. Right? Japan cleared the corner. Bachi is probably the greatest football player to be born in the South region. Not even, no one even comes close. Yeah, is it the greatest? Again, it's always a discussion because from the technicality standpoint, uh, you know, um, I think I'm Vision to me would be a cut above the rest. Rupit Singh, Sandhu, and Sunil Chetri play for first year Starbreak and Kansas. Gurpreet Khela, Starbreak ke liye. Yes, very true. But Sunil didn't play for Kansas. He was part of the squad, but never played an MLS game. Japan trying to counter. Dyson, do you think we need even more games in the senior level? Yes. But we need to structure it differently. I don't think we need more teams. We need to structure it properly and figure out something. Hajime Moriyasu taking notes already after 3 minutes. So therefore, for me, that's something that we'll have to see. I don't know why, but I'm not liking this World Cup. Maybe I'm just getting old. Akash, you're getting old. I sometimes have that feeling. I think the real World Cup started yesterday. Yeah. Again, after I'm Brazilian with no contact, how many of the so-called greatest football players in India will win 2034 World Cup? Yeah, this is what to say. I think that's unfair. Japan is about to kick off in Brazil. Let's hope they win. They said also the words West Africans, Europeans, South Americans. Yeah. Sasha, to me, for generalizing, for me also, if I look at it, the Japanese are potentially amongst the best. And, and again, I don't think Brazil are, in my opinion, they're not favorites in this game. We beat almost Iraq and beat Kuwait only for just too much. No. Arup, वो था friendly, right? We beat Kuwait, yes. Iraq friendly था. और उस टाइम उसको देखो और उसके एक साल के बाद देखो एशियन कप में, those were two different teams. Yeah, Japan was a kickoff. What's next one? The semi-finals. Let's the AIFF sort out the ISLMS first, and then we can talk about who's signing whom and what. At the moment, that is, I think, the biggest problem of Indian football, that none of these things are sorted. And then people don't understand also that improvement of FIFA ranking was a strategic plan. And Steve, we were never really 70 ranked, 90 ranked team at any point. No, we weren't exactly. Even 94, 95th. That's the problem that we had. Long ball forward from Ito, from Bhutia to Rahim Ali. Yeah, Akash, reality. You can't say anything against Lord Rahim Ali. He's idol. Raj, yes, okay. Continue with that. So mention of Rahul Kumar in Caestra the other day. I'd like to keep everyone's feet on the ground. He's the next big defender, stand operation, and not about top plus. He won't play for India. Yeah, Sasha, sadly, that looks likely. सर आप क्या बात कर रहे हो व्यूअर्स लास्ट हमें वो 97 पर ले गया था आरूप स्टीवन इज एन ओल्ड फ्रेंड स्टीवन मेरा दोस्त है उसके पहले बार इंडिया जो आए थे मेरे मदद से आए हैं तो आई नो उस टाइम पे रैंकिंग लिए थे लेकिन हम क्या 96 7 96 था अभी था राइट सो दैट्स द रियलिटी आल्सो ना हमको देखना है So do you think during Kashuba youth level tournament we have ISL Super Cup at senior level? Bro, it's a pre-season tournament. Use it the way you want it, right? Back in the Z Sports I-League era, the football was much, much better than today's ISL. This is my point of view. I used to watch after coming from school. Football used to squeeze themselves. Football has changed, Akash. I think that is a comparison. I've heard this also during this World Cup from certain teams. This and that about football. Yeah, but was it better? No, it wasn't. I've seen enough I-League games which live where you could have slept. Free kick Brazil, but Zion Suzuki, has the ball. Yeah, Suzuki. The PR Master said Igor is my good friend and he won us 3 major tournaments. Yeah, but सर आप फॉरेन में जाकर क्यों नहीं इंडियन ओसाई को इकट्ठे करके बोलिए कि इंडियन स्पोर्ट्स पासपोर्ट आने हैं, बोला है कोई देश के लिए ना खेले। आरोप ऐसे हो नहीं होता है ना। कब आएगा, कब नहीं आएगा, वो तो मुझे मालूम नहीं है ना। मैं तो I cannot tell a player, say, listen, you know what, India could be getting the sports passport. I don't know when, I don't know why. You could be playing for India, that's why you have to play for India. ऐसे काम नहीं होता है, right? No one is waiting for us. We have missed the bus. We've missed, I don't know, the bus for decades. You know, उसके लिए हम लोगों को वेट करना चाहिए, हम लोगों को ऐसे करना चाहिए, वैसे करना चाहिए. That is the whole problem, no? So देखना है कैसे, but no one will wait. Some boys are wanting to play for India, but we'll have to see what happens. I miss the raw football in today's eyes. So yeah, Akash, I get your point. I fully get that point. That is a problem that is there, but uh, you know, but you know, I wasn't a bad tactics. Many big mans use it, but Lord Khajan use haram ball in other mention. Raj, it's not a question of if you lose haram ball or not. You can do that, right? Cape Verde is defending deep. Curacao is defending deep. A lot of teams, you know. Even yesterday, South Africa defend mostly deep against Canada, but you need to have the players to do it, right? It's like even at the moment, Japan is allowing Brazil space, um, but are they really, you know? And Japanese players can run, but if the Brazilians lose the ball, um, they're going to be in danger of a counter attack. I know it was not better. The broadcast was bad. Pitches were bad, but footballs are much more hardworking. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I don't know that era. Yeah, Akash, it is nostalgia because that kind of football was different. Even those players who played in those days will tell you we were not better. And again, some of them are now coaches. They will themselves say we were not better in those days. And that's sadly a reality of things. Yeah, Brazil may with a chance. Oh, well, that's knockout of an own player. It's no longer sport, it's sports science, and African teams are cheat code. Well, some people might say that. Some people might say something else. The Olympics page was an unsuccessful clue of India defeating Australia. 1956, 1952. I don't think we would defeat Australia 52. I think we defeated them 1956 at the Melbourne Olympics. And Japan now with their backline. Interesting. After 10 minutes goalless and Brazil having had more of the ball. Now Japan trying to build up. Question is what Kamada, what have the Japanese learned, especially from the way Morocco played against the Brazilians? Morocco for me were the better team. And what can they do in this game? Will they be able to hold on? Or do the Japanese go in for an open bout match against the Brazilians? Japan, nice combination. Ball played out to the left. Japan for the first time in the box, headed out by Marquinhos. And the ball Japanese and Vinny Jr. Let's see that again. Step on the foot. Want to step onto the ball. Sano. Taishu Sano. Picks up yellow card for that. Yeah. Not being racist, but European nations Afghan time will completely made teams of Africans. It depends on talent. It depends on talent. And you know, there are players It's not about physicality, it's also about the technical abilities of the players. You've got your Flo Wirtz, you'll have your Phil Fodens, um, so that's the thing. Realistically, if we get 4, 5, or 7, we should qualify and at least go to knockouts in Asian Cup. I don't know if that's the way Akash of thinking. Others are doing the same thing. So the competition is getting tougher in Asia. For us, is the first aim is to qualify for the Asian Cup on a regular basis, rather than hoping, wishing, praying that something happens. Yeah, that's my reality of my biggest fear at the moment, in regard to all those things. Japan trying to Brazil clear their lines. Maybe a chance for Brazil. My bad is 1956. Not a problem, Raj. Sometimes we do mistakes. Oh, Zan Suzuki. Good save from the Japanese keeper. And it was Mukesh Kunya on the way down. Quickly taken corner. Brazil in the dangerous area, and that goes wide. Is it possible to train fast twitch muscle reaction, but you don't want, we still won't be as fast as Usain Bolt? Yeah. You can't defeat Bangladesh, Singapore. They don't know they're using origin players. Yeah, but Singapore is a different thing. It's not just using origin players, but Singapore is also naturalizing players. That's a different thing. And Singapore is a small city state, right? So that should never be forgotten. Ritsu Doan, and that should be a free kick, and it should be a card. Yeah, Casimiro with the foul against the Eintracht Frankfurt midfielder. Or no, sorry, was it Doan? Or was it Ito? No, sorry, it was Ito. That Ito. Yeah, Casimiro. I mean, we're just trying to recruit players who have probably never ever visited India. So, Sasha, I don't know if we're only recruiting players who've never visited India. There are a few of the boys who've been to India. So, yeah. And that's the thing with origin players. How many of the origin players actually have visited um, yeah, countries? Brazil playing the best game today. Yeah, looks like it. No, but Alison Becker worried a little. Kamada and Ritso Doan. One is a current Eintracht Frankfurt midfielder. The other one is a former Eintracht Frankfurt midfielder. And it looks like Ito might also join the party from Bayern Munich. Hmm. There's a second ball. Interesting to see. Kamada looks like to take it. Or is it Doan? One of those two. We're 50 minutes plus. Kamada! Daichi Kamada. Blocked. Couldn't get it through. The former Eintracht Frankfurt. And the real Ronaldo is in the house. Bebeto in the house. Roberto Carlos. And we have the Secretary of the Asian Football Confederation, Windsor John, behind them. And Ito with the corner for Japan. Let's see what they can do, the Japanese. Brazil, clear. But Japan now slowly finding their groove. Ito. Too overambitious. Nakamura can't get to it. But this is better from Japan. From this blue samurai. And Brazil, yeah. Let's see what Brazil can do. In this game against the mighty Brazil. Many origin players of others also do not visit the country. Yeah, that's true. There are players, for example, the Haiti boys, I think was the story. Haiti hasn't played a game in Haiti due to the circumstances. Japan on the right, and that's blocked. So therefore, that's in. Yeah. I don't know how is the game till now. I'm tuning. Brazil seem to started better into the game, but now Japan in the last 3 4 minutes joining the party. And that's the danger. Oh, was it a handball? The referee at least claims it was from Ito. Or was it Ueda? I thought Ueda was with the man with the handball. I say Ueda, a man from Feyenoord. Ito plays for KRC Genk in Belgium. So for me, Anupam, it's evened out. In future, you'll find only players of Bangladesh from Italy. There are a lot of Bangladeshis in Italy, right? If you see Rome and all, a lot of them, and they've been there for a while. Sasha, I think IT origin players have visited, they're leaving the Europe to face reduction. It's not about Cartman, about luxury. It's about going to your country of origin. Madrid doesn't neither only 5'8" from Celtic. He's the machine sprinter of the Japanese team. Very impressive. Uh, as you said, Dyson Maeda. Um, yeah, engine. Even though I'm more of a Ritsu Doan fan, because seen him over the years. And originally, I think PSV, Eindhoven, and then later on at Bielefeld, and then at Freiburg, and then he's now at Eintracht Frankfurt. So he's worked his way up. Neymar in subsidies? Yes, he is. Exactly. So a Paulo Arkin plays playing for urban teams doesn't make sense. It does in a way. Let's say African origin would be the way to say it. Japan win the throw-in against Konya. Yeah, quite an intense game. It's even out. Brazil looked better in the first 10, I would have said. Then how can Kalo India contribute? I still haven't understood the value of Kalo India, to be very honest. Um, because I still haven't understood how is it, you know. Oh, mistake by the Japanese. That cross ball didn't get anywhere. Vinicius Junior headed out. Japan. It's a little tricky, but in the end, Tomiyasu clears it. The former Arsenal man. This time Brazil with the ball. You can't complain about other countries recruiting origin players and then we're running after any origin player who looks even remotely Indian. Raho. Yeah. So that's um, Araujo to me again. I don't know how. Someone put it out there, right? And this maybe we'll find out later on. It was a social experiment by someone who said, you know what, I wanted to try out and figure out if people actually believe this. And yeah, who knows? Most of them were refugees. Sports were only way out. I doubt their parents know the native Western language. They all speak French, so of course they know their language. They know how to speak the language. I think that's a bad example. We trying to get in national team. We'll say players will be included national team. Hannibal, no idea. Hannibal, again, we are all getting carried away. Are we going to have 2, 4, 6, 10, 20, 50, 100? I don't know. Let's wait. Let the program start. Let things get sorted. Yeah. So it's always a question of overcooked ball by the Brazilians. Danilo can't get to it. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see when who gets in, who stays, who gets out. 5-3 has been hit. Most of the teams defending. Oh, Oscar with Ronaldinho in the stands. Mostly from there's still the 4-2-3-1. There's a 4-3-3, 3-4-3. So I don't know if it's only on a bomb. It's going university level tournament. Yeah, to me, what value does it have? I still don't know what it has. Is it about grassroots sports? Um, sorry, mate. So therefore, for me, that's always a question. Pardon me, but having diaspora players with bloodline dish and non-bloodline players are 257. I understand European people accept this. What what should be a goal kick? Yeah, Matishkuna goes down. Akash, why? If I'm born in Germany, if I'm good enough, uh, and Germany wants me to come in and play for Germany, why should Germany not take me? Right? I'm an of Indian origin, but I'm a German passport holder. Why should Germany not, if I'm good enough and I want to play for Germany, why? And Germany wants me as well. Um, yeah, and we've got the hydration break. Nothing has happened so far. So therefore, for me, that somehow the question doesn't arise. So you're mixing up things. Origin players and there's origin players, there's naturalized players, and then there are players who have different kinds of origin blood but are born in a country, right? So therefore, different things. I have nothing against it, Cartman. It's just funny we are talking about how other teams are full of players based abroad, and we're crying out for Yandanda and Markande. Yeah, but Yandanda, Markande, and the whole lot, right? So for us, it's the only way forward, I guess, for Indian football, if we're honest. This is my own opinion. Sorry for hurting someone. No, Akash, it's not about hurting feelings, but I don't know why you would say that it doesn't make sense, right? So, right. Chankta, the only player I see volley players come in squad he would have made up to third or second tier of some Western league if he didn't mess up. Okay. I don't know how he messed up. Sasha answers, Akash, it's called legal migration. When you spend half your life in a different country, why is it wrong to identify as French or Dutch or German or Finnish? Oh, very good. If any Anglo-Indian wants to play for Russia, then they will play for India. Same Africans in Europe. No. No, that's a different. Anglo-Indian is something different, no? What is an Anglo-Indian? Anglo-Indian is mixed race. We're talking about, um, we're mixing up all, again, I'm not a expert in this, but, um, um, there is, someone is of origin of a country, then you could be naturalized in a country, and then there is the thing that you're born in a country of which you are not of origin, actually. Even though, you know, that's the that's the difficult part in all of this. Football gives immense soft power to Olympics, otherwise will not be that much despite your signature Brazilian born to country even as origin. Yeah, yeah. You have it in other sports too, but nobody talks about it. No, that's the other thing, right? I of course know what is legal migration. I'm an NI too, but I don't like it when a system is exploiting this loophole. What loophole are they exploiting? Akash, what loophole are the Europeans exploiting? My question would be that what's the loophole? I still don't understand where the loophole is. If these guys are born in Europe and you give them an European passport, where's the loophole? They're not giving out the passports because they're a good footballers. They're born, so right. I only follow you and Khelna and Dhanraj football for football content creators with some YouTubers literally putting origin players who are in top Western League development players. Okay, Cartman. Yeah. Thanks a lot. I take this credit straight out to more people. Corner for Japan in the 27th minute. And I take this opportunity to quickly remind you, if you haven't, do please like this video, share this video. If you haven't, do subscribe to Arunfoot as well. As always, need your support. Without your support, this channel cannot grow. It needs to support 12 likes in this video so far. I think we can do better. And with 4,581 subscriptions, so we can do better. And a reminder, tonight, 1:50 Indian time, I'll be doing a watch along of Germany. Oh, that's ahead for Japan. Goes over. Ueda. Ayase Ueda, the Feyenoord Rotterdam striker. So do support. Thank you as always. And do watch my Neville D'Souza video. Did put in a little effort to try and figure out those things. Support. Thanks as always. I don't think this is a loophole. Most are not doing it because they want to get to World Cup. Sister from Denmark came as a refugee to have a better life. Same with Alfonso Davis. Yeah, but some of them are born here, or some of them are mixed, right? Jonathan Tah, for example, is mixed race. Antonio Rudiger is born in Berlin. Just to give German examples, Leroy Sané's father, um, Suleiman Sané, came as a footballer to Germany, very successful player, Senegal international, but his mother is German. So they're different stories. So I don't know. I don't understand where the loophole conversation comes from. I saw recent Irish team defeated India cricket and the player in Irish for his Indian passport and played against India. What are the rules of ICC? I don't know, Raj, what the rules of ICC are. I don't think there are any restrictions. Theoretically, if I wanted to with a German passport represent India, I theoretically could do that most probably. So I don't know. Anglo-Indians are Indian citizens. Yes, if they haven't gone elsewhere, right? There are a lot of Anglo-Indians who left India, especially those from Mumbai and Kolkata, and settled in Australia, I think a lot, right? I think that's the linkage of Ryan Williams, and therefore, yeah. Good evening, Dark Knight. What do you prefer, teamwork or individual brilliance? I like good teamwork, but individual brilliance is also good. And Japan take the lead. Japan are ahead. Japan are ahead against Brazil. What a goal! 29th minute. Is it Sano? Is it Kaishu Sano? Japan lead against Brazil. Brazil just opened up. And I think it's Sano. Kaishu Sano plays for Mainz 05 in the Bundesliga. And what a goal. What a strike. 25-year-old. Brazil lose the ball in the build-up. Sano picks it up on the halfway line and then sees the space. No one closing him down. Yeah, Gabriel just trying to remove his hands, but not losing his legs. And brilliant placement. No chance for Alisson Becker. And Japan, who had a difficult start in this game, got better and better. And now Japan are leading and deservingly leading. Yes, Ryan Williams is technical. African origin, born Europe, citizens now. What is the problem? There is none, in my opinion. If someone don't know, I've started a campaign to make Ranjit AIFF president. It will take us to World Cup. Oh God, Raj, please stop it. The problem is a lot of people don't understand sarcasm, right? So if you're putting this out, there are people who will believe you this, and with these kind of things, you're creating more harm than helping. Yeah, it's just opinion, nothing. Yeah, it's opinion, but I think Akash, you can have opinions, but again, your opinion needs to be based on facts. You can just not have an opinion for the sake of having an opinion. Then you're no better than other people who seem to have opinions and who seem to say, hey, listen, I know something, which is factually actually not true. Right? So that's the thing. I just need permanent residency status. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't see the video, but did you really say that? Or is this forbade for me to? Gosh, I know. I didn't watch it and I wouldn't watch it. Again, guys, don't give it. That's what I also say. Don't give these things views. You guys are giving it oxygen. We're talking about it. Don't give it oxygen. Do boycott these things. Just say don't watch it, boycott it. That's the best thing you can do. That hurts these people even more when you don't support them. For context, Elon Musk now has a rocket catching system so that you can reuse parts. We don't even have a proper football stadium and league. Yeah, but the rockets are exploding. Yeah? So I don't know. Send out Bengalis, including some writers. Yes, Sydney and Melbourne. Let's see that again. Yeah, Doan plays the ball, but then steps on the foot. Brazilian to Japanese technical football, not Japan leading. I don't think they learned it from all over the world. Brazilians, Argentinians, English, German, Spanish. Yeah, so much time Brazil courts to be. Yeah, wonderful. And that's you know, you know, Japan to me a very talented team. I said with Norway, my dark horse of the tournament. And now the question is, Paqueta over the ball. Can Brazil hit back? Can Brazil turn this around into the danger area? Headed by the Brazilians, but no problem. It goes wide. When football became sports, two sports and Brazil lost it magic. They might be individually great, but as a team versus Japan. Cartman, there are two things. You've got a very valid point, and it reminds me of what happened to field hockey in the 80s and 90s with artificial turf, with sports science coming in. That field hockey totally changed. Pakistan has never recovered from it. India has recovered over it over the last 10 years because of Odisha as a state. Oh, Brazil nearly got its way through. And easy collection for Zion Suzuki. Vinny Jr. with the shot. And that's it. And Brazil is sort of, Brazil has reinvented itself to some extent over the years because if you look at the 70s and 80s, after not winning, it was individual Brazilians, teams under Zico and all. And yeah, so let's see. Understand? Yeah, I understand, but many don't understand. Exactly that. So be careful what you say because some people will mostly believe what you say. I think one reason Japan's progresses first is they're humble and eager to learn. Such a very important point. Very, very important point that you're mentioning. And to me it is Brazil fouled themselves. Um, but again, sometimes that individual class is coming when they come to Europe and play. And that's something which they've learned coming to Germany, coming to France, coming to Spain, to England in all these leagues is helping them. Financially said that individual talent will not take the team very far. Yeah, it's true. Right? Vinny Jr. and the Japanese defend as a team. They don't even need a lot of touches on the ball. And Ritsu the one just does enough. And now a chance for Japan potentially to counterattack. Lose the ball. And goal kick. Vinny Jr. lose the ball. They operate with honor. The Women's League CEO resigned when she realized the league was failing and she was applauded. Yeah, it's totally different. Because there's accountability, there is introspection. All the things we don't have in India and Indian football is something that the Japanese have, right? And Sano, one of the standout players at Mainz this season. Yeah, you can refute all his claims, but it takes a lot of risk. But still, people are doing it. Raj, more and more people are standing up. Ooh, Japan in the build-up, losing the ball. Have to be careful. Any junior leaving the ball. Ritsudoan clears it. So, yeah. If you give me the Ria for next verse, I can do World Cup 2030. So, Shasha, you've now joined the club as well of demanding money and then hoping you can do something. No jokes apart. I think it's a lot of work. Chance maybe for Japan to break. Ito on his own, and Paqueta clears throw in. So the Brazilians themselves are not happy, can't be happy, right? So that's a big problem for them. True Indian football fans, we know half of the talks on podcast Ranjit Hawaii Fire only no truth. Wow, Vikram, yeah, sadly. Is it true the best time actually don't go for pro football? Mm, I've not heard this, Akash. I don't know where you heard this. I don't know about it. And Raj now want 100 crores from you, Sasha. Yeah, now Vikram, I'm good. Good to see you. I saw one thing when Japan plays, they always give 100%. They might not be the best, but they want the most. Yeah, Blue. And this has been the way that I've seen Japan over the last maybe 30 years, whenever I've seen Japan. Yeah. So that's the thing. So for me, Brazil combining. Japan need to be careful. Nearly steal the ball. Brazilians still with the ball. Gabriel, Danilo, back to Gabriel. It's a lot on the side of Vinny Jr. Yeah. Argentina top league system is more messed up than our ISL. The good players leave just after 18 to the Europe for development. Yeah, very true. A lot of players sign pre-contracts with System 17 trying to get out of that country because of their apertura clausura system. And clubs and agents working. Yeah, so it's getting bashed by cricket fans. Yeah, and another shot, easy collection. Kunya for Zion Suzuki. So my because of that Virat Kohli, that yo-yo test saying that his players are fitter than Virat Kohli and all that stuff. And as a question like, does Virat Kohli need to be fit for a yo-yo test because he's a cricket player, right? His priorities are different. So yeah. Only one team in Asia which can compete on world level, Japan. Other teams, how far they are from world level, this World Cup show this. Yeah, become very good. Australia, of course, did win against Turkey. Again, that's more to blame on Turkey than anything else. But all the other teams from Asia have disappointed sadly, right? So that's a sad reality of what we've seen at this World Cup. Asian teams have been an utter disappointment. 2 out of 9 only making it. Africa is 9 out of 10 in the round of 32. Again, South Korea and Iran missed out closely, but the way South Korea lost to uh, South Africa, they didn't deserve it. And Iran with 3 draws. Yeah, okay, 2 draws are good, but the draw against New Zealand was killing. I watched your video on the Neville D'Souza ground, and as a Mumbaikar, I'm deeply disappointed. A lot of young who prefer football. There's no platform, especially after Air India and Mahindra United or Mahindra leaving. Yes, Japan steal the ball. Chance to break. Oh, and lucky there. Maeda dribbled past the ball himself. Ko Itakura and Hiroki Ito are the best defenders in this team. Yes, very, very true. The man from München Gladbach and Bayern München. Japan trade back to their defenders. Back to Zion Suzuki. Solid goalkeeper. The 23-year-old who plays for Parma. Expected for a big transfer move this summer. If he's opposing Osepio, saying it's work of Federation to develop players, then according to his logic, message developed by Argentina FA. Yeah, that's his logic. And that is where if Raj was a good podcaster, he would have asked him, what have you done in the last 15 years? Right? Why have you not developed the players? People who say government also supports football, they should read the news about Neville to the ground. Yes, Akash. That's what I'm saying. If you haven't, I did make a video on it, the same, in support of all who are fighting for the future of that ground. Do watch it, do share it. And yeah, but again, it's also sad to see that video. If I've done quite a few videos on the OCI topic, or gets much more views than such a topic, and that's sad. And Zion Suzuki easily has the ball, 40 plus minutes on the clock. Japan leading 1-0. I played with Kenkre FC and I know how hungry kids are for an opportunity, and yet the government doesn't think they have any social responsibilities for young people to play more equal to more delinquents, into less delinquents. Yeah, very true. Sasha, you see that Europe sports is used as a tool, right? Because I never fit whenever I visit home. I somehow watch cricket with my uncle and cousin. All are fat, some are falling out of pants. Fast forward is fit. How many players as the academy plays in forget first or second tier, fourth, fifth tier in Europe League if players are good, as you say, they can't dip in good league when they're playing. Why wasn't any player scouted last summer? If is his team, you know, so that's the point, right? So very good point raised by Vikram. If the players are so talented, which you're saying, and some of them were pulled up into the under 17 in your team, couldn't perform at Asian level, and that Asian level is not good enough. Japan nicely combining on that wing, and Japan knows how to grind out results. They showed it in the last World Cup against Spain and Germany. Yeah. Throw in for Japan. And the Brazilians bump again into each other. So, Vikram, very, very good point. What are Japan for doing? The South Korea is not South Korea is the same as 2002 West Japan got limited round of 16. Itesh, South Korea 2002 was very, very lucky. Got the results, got some referee decisions in their favor. Sometimes these knockout matches don't speak about the quality of your football. Japan, I think, has a decent level of growth over the last 25, 30 years. Their top players play in Europe. Good cross. Get it out. Japan win it again. So therefore, that's the big difference. South Korea have had exceptional talent, better than um, the um, Japanese individually, but again, they don't have better players en masse. The Japanese are producing players en masse. I thought you were NRI. Yes, he is, Raj. It's no, he's an NRI. He's not an OCI. It's also sad that I've no one else to share your videos. Literally, I'm the only one in my circle follows me football passionately, which is very sad, Akash. But yeah, I understand, and therefore it's nice to have these conversations. Again, Japan combining nicely. Now, if they can get the ball off, advantage. Uh, Sunny gave him money, but he spent that in PR. Yeah, very true. They were scouted because they were playing 9-7 aside. Yeah, that's also true. And they're not rated as well. Japan continuously progressing 100%. Do you have any news about Osimhen by Federation? The clubs agreed? No, nothing. Akash, clubs don't want to do it the way the Federation wants. Intercepted by the Brazilians, intercepted by the Japanese. Maida does very well. Ito, Hiroki Ito. That Kamada, Macbeth Kamada, Daichi Kamada, stylish player. Kamada currently playing with Crystal Palace. Ito, Ito cuts in. Ito, shot blocked. Chance for Brazil to break. Oh, that's a foul. That's going to be a card. Completely different. I watched some of the highlights and I'm sorry to say that they didn't look great at all. Yeah. Proper Priya move opposing also in such a big stage. Yeah. What to say, Arunava. So I'm born and raised in Mumbai. Is your players were picked in World Cup spot. Yeah. Wow. So for free World Cup, can I say no, Akash? I don't want to be promoting free websites. Do you think I say have too many matches compared to other leagues? Too few matches. Uh, Last season, yes. But my question is, we've got too many teams. I would rather have 10 teams and maybe let them play 3 times, 4 times. Um, but uh, but nothing more, nothing less. 4 minutes of added time. And so therefore, that's the way. I don't think that we need more matches, yes, but not by increasing. We've got too many teams because our players pool is limited. I think SM asked you that what is the existing and national team as revolt against Osias. This Bhuta came with his dream he wants to serve more onward. Akash, there will be academies who will say that. There are others who think that it's an opportunity for Indian football to progress, which is an opportunity for them also to progress. So therefore, there's always that question of how to do it. Japan physically outmuscling the Brazilians. That's an interesting. Kamada, Ito, Brazil, Nakamura has to be careful. Japan now making them run. That's an interesting thing. And you see the progression. Oh, ball goes out. Throw in Brazil. Japan is ahead. Brazil is not up to mark today. Or obviously Japan is too good. Japan is better now. I said yesterday to me, I think Japan should win. And you see Carlos Ancelotti thinking about what can I do? What should I need to do? What should I do? Carlo Ancelotti very worried given the realities at the moment. I've coached 15, 20, 15. Sorry, let me start again, Sasha. I've coached under 15, 18, 20 in senior men and women in Finland. Even under 15, I was 7, 8 months season. Yeah. This time it has backfired for him getting hate, especially because of that Virat Kohli thing. Yeah. Never pick on the cricket guys. Vodka is saying we don't have proper delegates in football. Really, how many countries are there who have qualified for round of 12 with proper infra? We need really quality players, not infra. But Vikram, you are, you're picking out the points that a good podcaster would have asked him, right? Um, how much infrastructure does Haiti have? I think I don't know if some of you have read some stuff regarding the situation in Congo with the Ebola virus, with the war in Eastern Congo, with Rwanda, and all those things, right? So yeah, I reckon the OCI inclusion could be good for the national team, but the stupid rule of one OCI and one union striker and national team lineup is absolutely idiotic. Sasha, I don't know if that rule is coming. Let's wait and see. It's nothing is done. Let's see. Build up by Japan is amazing. Brazil looks lost. Yes, Akash. Um, yeah, Japan blocking out the Brazilian attackers. As recently got elite level knowledge from Reels and Anwar is the highest paid player for Pro Plus. I thought the highest paid player, as far as I know, uh, is Apuya. If any team, if you don't, good enough, you don't play your nationality, you shouldn't play any sport. Very true. In any team, yeah, very true. Very, very well said, Joshua. That's the problem. Lovely clearance from the Japanese. Can they finish off that counter attack? Say Ueda and Brazilians are getting ready for halftime. And just thinks BC and AIFF have same funds around too. He's so mad that idiot and not or even AIFF are not close to BC. Yeah, but I don't know what to say. And Japan take the 1-0 lead into the break. Very impressive. Japan won, Brazil nil. Wow, that's upset. Some would say upset. I wouldn't say that, but I thought so far Japan were better than Brazil in this tournament. Brazil spending so much time in the midfield. Japan tactics clear, get the ball, push, give some breathing to the defense, and while at it, if you get a chance, take a shot or two. Yeah. See the podcaster reaction, literally reading everything. It's hilarious. Yeah. Football is this by Brazil. Any terminology? Um, old school. Old school. Ancelotti not playing Enrique. Sorry, Endrick. He gets a lot of hate for that. Um, who are you going to take off? Even if I put Endrick on, I've got Vinicius Jr., I've got Ryan today playing, and I've got Mateus Cunha. I have Neymar on the bench, I've got Igor Thiago on the bench, Gabriel Martinelli on the bench, and then Endrick. Poof. Yeah. Let's see. I see the point of some extent about infrastructure difference that football is part of the culture. It's a life in Africa, Tanzania, South Africa, Ghana, Northern leagues all top 80,000 at games in North Africa. Yeah, but the infrastructure isn't that good. It's been developed over the last few years. So India actually had better infrastructure than most of these countries. That's to me a reality of things, but we're not utilizing that, you know. And so that's the thing. Ashwini said that to be careful, poster doesn't add as laws always ready and they threaten random people on social media. Yeah, that's let them do that. They're not attacking, not creating and build up neither creative football, just random passing. Yeah, because the Japanese are closing down the attacking players. I don't know how much we've seen of Ryan. Matheus Cunha is trying to take shots from long distance, and Vinicius Jr. is being shut out. So therefore, that's the way it is. Last time World Japan played very well. They didn't have last shot takeover this time different. Catman, last time around, they beat Spain and Germany with around 20% of ball possession, which means they were utterly playing counter-attacking football. Today, in this World Cup, what we've seen is Japan in phases controls the game. So that you see in 3.5 years, the last World Cup was November, December 2022. So in 3.5 years, you see an evolution, a revolution, not a revolution, but I see an evolution in that. You know, so yeah, let's see. Second half script never come and you score a brace to defeat Japan. I don't think so, anyway. I hope not, because I think Japan deserve to go through. I feel Japan are the better team in these two, and if I look at this game so far, I do think that Japan, yeah, are the better one. And then I would like to see Japan versus Ivory Coast or Norway. That should be a cracker of a game. So therefore, for me, um, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Hey, Dipesh, any update on ISL deal between AIFF and clubs? No, Dipesh, nothing. Talks have not even been held to follow up. And then, what disturbs me is, I've said this today also, that XYZ clubs are now making proposals to the AIFF individually rather than sharing it with the clubs. And yeah, there's a good channel to follow for Indian football. Oh, as you said, Kill Now is something to follow. Um, follow, I would say, my friends at 420 grams, um, Arjun and Sid. Not always that I agree with them or not, especially with Sid. Arjun, on most of the things I agree with. Um, Hiren is someone to follow. Curious Harry. Yeah, so there are a few of them to follow for you. Sasha said he believed because he doesn't know he's a casual. He woke up because of the World Cup. Ranjit went on a rant to explain, and the host asked him again because he didn't understand anything. Yeah. I hope my boy Neymar just don't get injured. Don't play him. Looks like Brazil is playing under massive pressure, and they're getting smoked by this pressure. Disappointing football. Akash, it's not a question of pressure. It's a question of quality. This is what a lot of people don't want to understand, that Brazil at the moment doesn't have the quality that they've had in the past. Brazil is not as good as they have been. Even if they progress and get far in the tournament, this Brazilian team is a shadow of. Look at the names in this team, in this lineup. Who is for you really top class? Marquinhos, Vinicius Jr., right? Casemiro is past his prime. Alisson Becker is past his prime, right? So the rest doesn't count. So therefore, you have a talent issue. From power to from power of grassroots development to national team, Japan is showing the way. Yes, Anand, 100%. But it is just not about grassroots and youth. It's about also their senior players going out of their comfort zone, going to Europe, trying to improve them. And it's I say this. This is something which is not something which has happened since yesterday. This has been happening since the 80s. I always forget that guy's name. In 1986, a Japanese guy signed at FC Remscheid when we were in the second tier. uh, 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 you know. So right. So therefore, for me, that's always a question. And yeah, we had at the time Yohiro Kazama, right, signed at F Remscheid, and we have his transfer history. I don't think we even have his transfer history. One second. So these kind of players, right? He signed from Bayer Leverkusen B teams, played for 2 years, played at Braunschweig, and then went off to Japan, and then played, joined the J League, and then actually returned for a season to FC Remscheid as well. But again, so you've had this Okudera, very well known, one of the legends of Japan. Also, workout of Japanese players are different level. Yes, 100%. They're technically, they work hard on the basics. Japan makes me love football every time plays so good pressing. Just take 1 second to regain possession, so block defending, and what wonder goal from that distance. Chanlata, yes. You sum it up. You sum it up perfectly. Why Japan is as good as they are at this moment in time in this game. Why are they leading? Why are they ahead? Just beautiful. And podcasters, they always call someone from trending topics. Yeah, that's the sad part. The guys that made Trousers training football. Yeah, that's also, yes, a portfolio production. Sorry, how can I forget my friends? Brazil is aggressive, but doing mistakes, hurry, final third, and less patience. Means they're not going deep in box to create chances for seems more intense. Yeah. First minute since 85th minute, so high energy intensity of match. Okay. I don't understand Why Mona builds a little team? They're banned from AFC. Perhaps they're building a little team to play ISL. Nothing more, nothing less. They want to continue to control things. Why are clubs are not complaining about Federation to AFC or FIFA? What interest they have? They're tolerating this. Akash, why? What have the clubs shown to you that they themselves are in a position to do things in a better way? My counter again, I don't want to defend the AIFF on this, but the clubs themselves have been doing a lot of mistakes over the last year plus, right? They could have intervened earlier. They didn't do the right things also. So therefore it is very difficult to go out there. Neymar should open a personal hospital for him with Saudi oil money at this point. Have you seen his leg nerves literally exploding in photo? Yeah. Cartman. Brazil team play now reminds me of Indian team back pass and side pass. And that's a very, very hard, very harsh comparison. Nanda, if you were Japan's coach, what would you tell the players at halftime? Defend or kill the game by scoring another goal? It is very dangerous. Um, I would tell them to continue playing the way they did and have, because they can. I think if there's one team which can absorb pressure at the back, it's Japan. And you know, um, but I would continue the way, and then another counter-attacking move and try to score. Was they lift deserving players out of the squad? And who are deserving players? They're not even working. I mean, and Catman, you have this discussion. Forget with the Brazilians. Even the Indian team, we say, oh, XYZ player should play or that. You think that, hey, listen, Carlo Ancelotti has chosen his team. Carlo Ancelotti has to work with those players. Will he be successful? Then they'll be celebrating. If he's not successful, he's going to be bashed. Very simple. Look at the South Korean coach, right? Um, I was told by South Korean, oh, you know what? We've got a very good team and our coach is very good and this will happen. Look what the president said yesterday. Look, the coach resigned immediately. Sure is right. Brazil doesn't have quality. They are not unbalanced and impatient. Final third and less control. Explain from Brazil. Yeah, because Brazil, as I say again and again, is not as good as they have been in the past, right? So therefore, for me, that's the big problem. Wonka has a big ego. He wants to crush everyone in ISL. Maybe not, Akash. I don't know. Certain Mona pages are trying to show Mona and victim and requesting AFC to unban them. I see Nas come directly from Mohammed through these pages. That's very nice, but they won't do anything on that. AFC punishment stays. To answer your earlier question, Brazil will make a comeback in Sana because Kamada and Sana both have yellow, and I don't think they have midfield backup after Indo retirement. Well, zigzag. I think the Japanese still have quality in Tanaka, Suzuki. Kubo is not even on the pitch. Machino is also there. So I think, yeah, Tanaka, Kubo. Um, so therefore, it's quite a bit of um, midfield talent. Let's put it this way in there. And interesting, of course, if I look at the whole team, and just realize that didn't think about it. Japan have got two goalkeepers who play in Japan. Kaisuke Osako plays at for Safas Hiroshima, and Tomoki Hayakawa plays at Kashima Antlers. Otherwise, only Yuto Nagatomo, who's 39, plays at FC Tokyo, but he's played most of his career at Inter Milan, right? All other players are playing across Europe, mainly Germany, most of them, right? And the Netherlands. Yeah. That's very interesting to see. So therefore, they have options. Japan shows what world class football means. Yes, what football means as a team sport to me. Ego so big to get banned from AFC. Have they announced any court changes, or will it come this week after the old contracts expire? Nothing, Sasha, because nobody knows if and how the league will happen. Again, we are still at the situation that the league has not been decided. Adopted my football nurses yesterday when you judged Brazil won, but now I'm better. Know that I was judging bad because as game watch a little more minute watch it happens. Yeah, it is about minutes and it's also about experience also, right? To me, Japan are a quality side, right? What was the name of the Japanese club in ACCL final against Al Hilal? They played phenomenal counter-attacking football, like they only trained to play counter-attacking football. Was it San Francisco Hiroshima? Or was it? I think. I think. 1 second. You mean Al Hilal? Al Hilal. Uh, Machida Selvia, I think you mean, right? Those who lost 1-0, the new rising club of Japan, I think. Any major podcast? I hope you get interviewed in touch. And Jennifer 7, none at the moment, sadly. Brazil should have substituted Casemiro. He should go to bench, and Brazil should have all attack in second half. And I don't think Japan sustained Brazil all attack. The only thing is the counter attacks. Exactly. Brazil go all out and change their formation. I think it would backfire on them. Brother, you must be into a big podcast too, because people are believing his garbage. Yeah, Akash. You guys start a campaign to contact the podcasters. And it looks like Endrick is coming on. Okay. So I don't know whose wish it was. Um, so yeah, do pass it on, right? In that podcast, the verses of the present, one of the president said, our aim is to reach top 10 in Asia. Listen, Raj, those two guys also in that podcast, in that Bengali podcast with Gautam Da, said so many things where I would have, my head would have exploded because they were just factual, they were lies, and that's the problem, right? Uh, it's very, very sad. And nobody's there to correct them because these so-called journalists don't know their facts. No, it is, to me, I think it is, yeah. Ruined national football or Brazilian football? No. What has Premier League to do with Brazilian football? Brazil has killed its own football because Brazil has corruption, league problem, this issue, that issue. Yeah. J-League is technically top, the coaching and players are on another level. Yeah, but the best players play in Europe. Indian football content creators suddenly talking Indian football for last 2 years are missing completely. Yeah, that's also the case, no? And because they're all team oriented and disciplined, the football is absolutely fun to watch. Exactly. With this seems Japan, France, Japan, Netherlands, or whatever bigger team Japan faces on 16, go further, quarterfinals, the fun could go intense watching Japanese football. That's good. Japan is not going to face France and not they face Netherlands in the group stage. If Japan win today, then they await the winner of Ivory Coast, Norway. So that's that part. I'm not watching the World Cup. Of course, Rhythm. I'm watching the World Cup. Just a reminder, late night in India. I know 1:50 p.m. a.m. Sorry, not p.m. a.m. I'll start 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. India kickoff. Germany versus Paraguay. I'll be doing a watch along later on tonight. So do join me for that later on tonight. I hope I get a chance to meet Baichun in Sikkim in his football school. But it's not his football school. It's just his name, Raj, right? Former Dempo coaches Cerezo. Okay. Sad thing is, Mono fans actually believe this lectures that they will go reach top 10 and think AFC competition I use this, don't you remember? When I officially, yeah, Akash, that's the problem. And games I've seen some players playing in second or third team, playing better. Have in this World Cup, head to it, in this pressure or not? No. Sometimes players, want to play for their national team. Sometimes players want to show things. So therefore, it's always a question of quality. More important than I said, yeah, Raj, very important. The problem with this big podcast that they are paid and the one who are not paid do not get enough views. Very true. How Japan always do so well in World, but in Asia Cup they won the last time 2011. Blue, that's the interesting part. No? We were discussing this yesterday where Japan have actually failed. Not in Japan, South Korea has not done well or not won it since the last 60 years. So, reality, no? Do we have quality sports journalists? Yeah, 7. Bhiman Sarkar, surely Marcus, on a few others whose names I don't remember at this moment in time, but yes, we do. And we have kickoff for Brazil versus Japan. And let's see what the Japanese do and how the game changes for the Brazilians as well. Japan lose the ball in the build up. Followed to Vinny and that chip, Zion Suzuki. Incredible goalkeeping. I was actually asked Japanese and coaches after India Japan 8-4 loss. He said that he has told several recorded players who was not lucky to make the squad in U17, so they have to the top class players. Yeah. And the Japanese were talking about, hey, listen, we conceded 4 goals against India. While we were saying, oh, you know what, we scored 4 goals against Japan, rather than saying, hey, we conceded 8 against Japan and could have conceded 15, 16. Japan do well. No, don't do well. Oh, Japan, cleared by Brazil. Next World Cup, Morocco, Rangers team, the players yet to reach their prime. Don't know about after that, as they doesn't have home grown, but Japan are different. They will dominate all age group. But Morocco have an advantage next time around. They're playing at home. Huh? 2030, Morocco, Spain, and Portugal hosting. Japanese players very dynamic and adaptive. They soak and adapt when they play in Europe. Once they come back, they switch to their own gameplay. So that's why the gameplay is distinct. Yeah, very true. That for the national team, they play differently than when they play for clubs. Yeah, very, very true. Exactly. I don't think Mr. Payne has paid this time as the podcast is country is one in the country is one of the biggest podcasts in the country. World Cup is going on for only for only one is available. And yeah. If he says come down, 47th minute. It's more the reminder. If you haven't, please do like, please do share, please do subscribe. And as I said, late night, if you want to join me, Germany, Paraguay. Germany looking to make the round of 16. Paraguay want to stop us. Brazil, Japan trying to steal the ball. And they do. And that should be a foul and that should be a card. Yeah. Quickly given. Danilo. Yeah, hand in is. Yeah. That's good refereeing from Maurizio Mariani. Hendrik has come on for Paqueta. Interesting. Japan doing their things, doing Japan things. Actually, views so fun. Also, to get views, scooter was best option by one speed. Yeah, very true. We have started new international copied from Belgium. All age group national team after first choice spot and then a future spot. I'm the biggest fan of the FA here, but this is smart. Yeah, but mm, even bigger and bigger brand pool. Sasha, but that is normally what countries have with regional training centers and academies. So fouls. What do you think downfall is temporary phase or can be reversed? Akash, or always can be reversed, but there's too many. Tomiyasu foul from Marcus Cunha. Marcus Mateus Cunha. Neymar warming up. And yeah, I think if Brazil has a lot of problems. Do you think Indian players are physically better than Japanese players? No. The point is, it's not about physicality. Japanese are smart with their football. And that is something which makes them so good compared to others. Sanzuk has the ball. Oh, must be tried. Yeah. I see India's personal game match where India beat Pakistan just got it. Germans. The Germans to better in 2014. Yeah, but to compare hockey and football is wrong. And again, Germany beat Brazil and India beat Pakistan. Because players can't control the ball. Yeah, that's the problem. Japan, the one tries to play through the legs, but they keep the ball. It's a good game by the Japanese. Playing smartly, keeping control of the ball, making the Brazilians run. And if needed, they can play the ball back. They don't need to play it up front. We don't want stand a chance with that. Two of the world's best are Japanese. Very true and good interception. It's direct insult to Interkash and Akash Mishra. Both are from UP. What is Masai said? There's no club from UP, no national team. I believe him. But again, see, a lot of things said without knowledge and understanding also. No? Can only gets you so far, and that's about discipline and commitment. I think, see the commitment from the Japanese player in running down their opponents, right? Why? And you see this also in lower level German football. There are Japanese players who come to Germany on a year or 2 year visa to work, to study, to learn, and they play lower level football, and they're loved by the coaches. I'm sure at something like 4 players in the 6th year who were Japanese. The working ethics was something which rubbed up on the Germans as well, because they said, listen, these guys are harder working than we are, and their basics are good. Brazil now, a little bit more on. And just ask this question, because I take this as a joke. Okay, zigzag, we take it as a joke. Yeah. Was it? Trying to figure out, and a good save, good header. Bruno Guimaraes, but Simon Suzuki cost its spot in this World Cup ranking. I don't have it. I would think France, Danilo, Bruno Guimaraes, and Simon Suzuki keeps the ball out. Again, Brazil coming. Yeah, Japan is soaking in the pressure. They like this. Again, Danilo with the cross. Cleared. Yeah. Ito's touch wasn't good enough. Back with the Brazilians. Has to be careful. Japan stays in. Japan clears their lines. Little too deep after 52 minutes for me, Japan. Brazil's 4-4-2 magic square isn't working today at all. Yeah. Whatever their attacking formation, and the Japanese are just clearing. Itakura. Again there. And Zan Suzuki. The Brazilians can't score. And now Japan with 5 players, 5 versus 3. Ball across. Japan have the ball. And overcooked. Ueda was free. Zion Suzuki, maybe with the save of this World Cup. He's off. And he somehow he heads it out. It's not even a save. Zion Suzuki heads it out. Brazil, unlucky. Japan, lucky. As Goka is the most responsible in the squad. There are others as well. Cartman. Zion Suzuki, very talented, plays at Parma, 23-year-old. And he's been at Parma now for the last 2 seasons after leaving Arunava Red Diamonds and spending a season at Saint-Tropez. But there are a lot of talented players. Son of the goal scorer comes in it. And Ritsoto one has to be careful. And clears for a throw in. India won gold in shooting. I win 2011 we were successful. We won gold. So by that logic of win, first the word support versus shooters, 2 people, no names. No, Branch, very good example. And Japan, you too deep. They can't lead with Munich, I think. No, I don't think Bayern are interested in the player. Another good cross, another header goes wide. And Vinicius will get shooting stars very close. Okay, then what are we seeing? Yeah. English league in Europe. Oh, and that's the equalizer. It's Casemiro with the equalizer of all people. It's 1-1. Yeah, Japan couldn't sustain the pressure. Zion Suzuki kept this game advantage Japan, but now the equalizer for Brazil. A lot of good young Afro-Japanese lads coming through in the J Leagues. Yeah, I've heard about that story as well. The Premier League people will say, see, I'm born and brought up in Germany. I will always prefer German football to you. We were talking about Glory Hunters. Yeah. It's a goal. Yeah, it's 1-1. Casemiro with the equalizer. Let's see. Is there an offside position? Hmm. Sansuki can't get his hands on it. Don't know if it's uh, Ito out of position. Nah, I don't think so. It's not recovering something. Nah, I don't think so. It was 1-1. And the Brazilians celebrating it. Japan didn't show the momentum in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Had that chance with that counter-attacking move. Should have finished it off better. And now it's 1-1. And the question is, what do they do? Does the game now change? Does the pattern in the game change? RDB group is gone. Okay, Raj. Let's see. That was it. And problems to clear their lines. Lose the ball again. Oh, referee says ball played. Chance for Brazil to counter. Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior hits the post. Brilliant save from Zion Suzuki again. But I would like to see the foul at the other end, which wasn't given. Tomiyasu, can't control him. And Zion Suzuki just does enough. Toe poke. Brilliant piece of goalkeeping from Zion Suzuki. Look at the way he's watching it. If you missed it, we'll get cooked, but we were already after. Yeah, but again, Japan allowing the ball to roll out. So do you see Denmark in his dribbling? He played most of the matches after he got to League Two. Yes, I've seen him. His videos I've not seen him play. Let's put it this way. To be very clear to you. Right. Sorry, guys. I didn't do a live watch along today because I wanted to catch up dinner. Oh, chance for maybe Japan to counter. Ueda keeps the ball. Ritsudoan. Ueda. And the Brazilians have the ball. Ueda should have left it. Yes, Suzuki doing a lot of heavy lifting. And Sano should have kept it. Let's see that. Oh, it's just a little bit. Yeah, but he was onside. Good image there from those. Oh. And yeah, guys, even though I would love to continue with this live, there's something that I need to attend to. As I said, 1:50 a.m. Indian time, 10:20 German time, 9:20 UK time. I'll be back with a live watch along. And with that, says that night. Yes, it is not night, it is evening, but the sun is still out. It's 8:22. And I'm supposing for 30 reasons still realities of things, Raj. With that, I slowly come to an end, guys. I'll catch you a little later if you want, in about 2 hours when Germany are set to face Paraguay. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.